Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of Terraform. My name is Chia from DevOps Easy Learning, and today we'll be going through Terraform lookup function, right? We'll kind of learn how to use a lookup function in Terraform. If you click on this icon, it is going to take me to my GitHub repository where I have some examples here, right, that I will be using. And also, I will make sure that I put the link of this GitHub repository in the description of this video so that if you want to go ahead and follow the same step, you are more than welcome to do so. I basically cloned this repository already and I have it local. What I'm going to do here is what I'm just going to navigate to the root of this repository and open this thing in VS Code. Let me cd. I'll basically have it here, and I'll go ahead and cd into this specific path, and ls. This is what we're seeing in GitHub, and I will type code here to open this in VS Code, and we have a lot of examples here with the lookup function. Let me click on the first example here and see exactly what we have here. Now, let me explain what is going on here. We set up here our Terraform provider. We set up here the Terraform block. Terraform block. Here we have the provider. And here I basically have a variable. That variable is called instance config. And it is the type any. We know that when we define a variable type any, this means that we can go ahead and basically define any data, any data structure here, like a map, a list, and so on. Now, here, we know that when we want to launch an EC2 instance, we basically have some stuff that are required and some are optional. For instance, if you don't provide a VPC security group, what will happen? AWS will go ahead, Terraform will go ahead and create one and open port 22. The subnet ID is not really required, but let's say you don't provide anything here, what happens here is that Terraform will go ahead and go to your default VPC and just pick one subnet and deploy your VM in there, right? That means here I define this to be empty, for instance, and here I define this one to be none. That means I'm not going to put any value. Now, let us see how we can use a lookup function to get some elements here. With a lookup function, we use a lookup similar to it is a little bit similar to the element function, but the good thing here is that we can specify a default value if the user does not provide what we want. Let's say var.instance underscore config. var.instance underscore config. What are we looking for? We are looking for the AMI. We are looking for the AMI, which is this one, which means the AMI will equal to this one here. But in case a user do not provide the AMI, we will go ahead here and use this one as default. We'll go ahead here and use this one as a default. What does that mean? That means if you are comment out this line, let's say a user just write his code like this without providing the AMI. What will happen here is that within the lookup function, I have that possibility to add a default AMI that I want if the user just did not punch out the AM, did not basically punch in here an AMI ID, right? I can define the default one, and I kind of have a default one here set up. And let us see if we trigger this code with Terraform in it. We are going to have, let's say we initialize and we plan, we are going to have any issue because the AMI is not set. This is a required to create an EC2 instance. And this example, it is the lookup variable with any. Now, let me type ls, and I'm going to cd into this one, for instance, ls, and I'm going to type Terraform init to initialize this. When this is done, we'll go ahead and type the plan, and we'll see if this is going to say, hey, we haven't set that. Terraform plan as you guys can see here, the plan works, right? The plan works. Why? Because it's trying to pick up this default value and use, even though this was comment out. Now, we are also trying to use the lookup function here to get the instance type. And if the user, let's say user did not provide anything here, we should go ahead and use the T2 medium. And let me confirm that if you comment this out and here a user did not provide anything, use a T2, even change this one to T2 small, for instance. T2 small. Let me go ahead here and kind of override that, and I will go ahead here and type the Terraform plan. And if we go over here, let me clean this and type Terraform plan again one more time. If we check the instance type, you guys will see that that should be a T2 small. It should be here T2 small. Why? Because a user did not provide this, and that is why it was set to T2 small right here. Now, let me continue. Right here, the VPC security group, we are saying that if the user do not provide the VPC security group, please set it as empty because this is not required. As you guys can see here, I didn't provide anything. I can kind of set this thing here as empty. Do not use anything, or I can go ahead and set the default value here that I want Terraform to use. And also the lookup function here, if the user did not provide the subnet ID, set it as null. That means don't use anything. And here we get the same thing. We basically here we kind of get the root device also using the lookup function, and the default is 10. If let's say a user didn't provide any of this, use 10 in here. And here we are using a tag here. We want to merge a tag to go ahead and create the instance name. This one, it is a little bit complicated because we are using also a lookup function to get the var, to get every single thing here that is in tag. And that is what the lookup function var.instance_config tag will go ahead and load all the tag, right? And load all the tag in terms of map, because this is a map. When it load all that, what are we going to add? We are going to add the name, and here we are using a format, right? And we want that format to have 3 arguments. We are using the lookup function here to kind of grab the var.instance.tag, and we are looking for the ID. The ID, which means it's going to take the 2526, and we are also looking for the environment, which is here. The environment here is called dev, and we are also looking for the project, which is Dell, which means this instance name is going to be 2526, and the environment dev and Dell, right? Dell, and we are going to append VM. And if we deploy that, if you just go ahead here and type Terraform plan, as I type this, let us go and check it. So you can see this is the instance name, right? We merge and we create a new tag. If you don't really know how merge tag works, please go ahead and check our Terraform playlist. I have another video there where I really explain how to use a merge tag. I will not go ahead and I will deploy this resource because it is kind of a little bit complex. And other example, I will just explain, but I will not deploy. I can go ahead here and type Terraform apply, and you guys will see how it's going to launch that instance in AWS using a lookup function. If you refresh here, as you guys can see, very soon we have one instance here, which is in pending state, and that is exactly the instance name. And if we click on this, we'll go ahead here and see the tag here. As you guys can see here, this is the tag, and emerge and basically added this new tag here. And the key, it is name, and the value, it is this, right? Which is our EC2 instance name, and that is done. I'll go ahead and destroy this. Terraform destroy. Always destroy something when you are not using that, when you are just learning, right? Make sure that you shut it down. Why it is destroying this, I'm going to see if I can explain one more example. Now, let me close this and look for something that is going to be maybe a little bit simple. I don't know if this would be simple or not, but this is also still another one that we have an object variable, and we want to look, right? We want to use a lookup function to look something here, which is similar to the one that we did. It's just that the any variable is what is part of the complex data structure, but we can put all kind of data here. But the object variable, it is also part of the complex data structure, but we can also kind of specify the type of data that we want. We want the AMI to be a string. We want the instance type to be a string. We want the key to be a string. We want the VPC security group ID to be a list. We also want the subnet to be string, and we want the type to be a tag to be a map. The same way that we use the any variable here with the first example, the same thing applies here, right? I'm using the lookup function, and here I am getting the AMI. If it's not specified, I use the default. Same thing applied. That means this example, it is the same thing like the first example, and I'm not going to do anything there. Let me also click on this one and see what is going on here. It is still like this one is kind of really simple now. We kind of have a variable which is just a map, right? How are we going to use a lookup function here to get all the element in the map here and use that to create an EC2 instance? Here, let's say we want to get a region. We use the lookup function var.vm, which is this variable here. And what are we getting here? We are getting the region. That means it will basically take the US East one and plug it here. The AMI here, where is the AMI? var.vm, the AMI, really simple. It will go ahead here and kind of grab this AMI that we define here. And as you guys can see here, we did not specify some default value, right? You can define that according to your need. And this one here, it is another one, a lookup function, but this lookup function with a YAML decoder. That means, let's say you want to define your variable value in terms of what? In terms of YAML. How can you use the lookup function in here to load this using the YAML decoder and use that into your code, right? This is a little bit advanced, and I will kind of let this example to you guys to figure it out, right? And let's say you're trying to work on this specific example here. You are not able to figure it out and trigger Terraform. Please let me know in the comment below, right? So that I can go ahead and shoot a video and explain exactly how to load value from the YAML using the YAML decoder, and how to use the lookup function to pass this one into your Terraform configuration code as argument, right? That's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please let me know in the comment below. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so that next time that we publish something, you will be notified. Also, please go ahead and follow us on social media such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. That's it for this video. Bye-bye.